Kendrick Lamar said he's the king of New York in the lyric, and you know the hip hop world is ablaze right now. Ablaze. We had our biggest traffic day ever in the 5 years we've been in business.
Really, people care about lyrics?
People care about lyrics.
I did not. Could have fooled me. I mean, look, hip hop is competitive. You know what I'm saying? Like Kendrick is. I seen Kendrick Lamar a couple years ago do a show in Los Angeles, and seen The Game and Snoop and Dr. Dre in the audience, and Kurupt, and everybody came on the stage, and they all hugged Kendrick on stage, and Game and Snoop did these eloquent speeches about how Kendrick's the new West Coast. And Game was like, this is the only rapper that I've seen that's better than me, and I'm glad it's somebody from Compton. This is something I've seen him say, and I'm like, I watched this pass under the torch, and I'm like, wow, Kendrick is really in the tradition of West Coast, with Snoop and them and Kurupt and them and Daz and them was on death row. If you look at the history of what they was doing, they was battling and they was coming after everybody in the country. Their whole attitude was like, it's death row, and it was about bars and lyrics. You know what I'm saying? So Snoop came through and crushed the buildings in the video.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to CNN and Mobb Deep who held it down for New York, but Snoop did that, and Kurupt was on that song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Kendrick quoted Kurupt. Kendrick, you know, lifted a whole couple bars out of something Kurupt said on a song he had with Bad Luck, my man Terrence Martin did. I'm not sure when it came out, but Kendrick's very smart. He knew he would get people in an uproar by quoting one of his heroes. You know what I'm saying? When Kurupt is the one who said, I'm a king of New York. And if Kendrick had just said that without quoting the other two bars around it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it would be even more to it, but he's smart, very subversive how he did it.
I mean, quote or not, he still said it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he could do an interview afterwards, but the hip hop community aren't just gonna say, "Oh, that's just a Kurupt quote." Okay, no problem. we'll just pretend we didn't have all these feelings about it the other day. You know, that's a great explanation for us, and go ahead and keep quoting, lines like this through the rest of your songs. I
mean, look, as far as the feelings, me personally, there was a big thing in New York where, whether he said your name or not, is he talking about you? Is he dissing you by not saying your name? Everybody was having these discussions. And to me, someone my name comes up in discussions about top tier lyricists. You know what I'm saying? I'm some people's favorite, some people don't like me at all, but my name always come up. And when I compete, I'm competing against not just who's hot right now, who's trendy right now. I'm competing against the whole canon of music. Like, when I think about the greats like Big Daddy Kane and Rakim, they still in my top 10. Kendrick Lamar is creeping up into my top 10, but he only put out one official album and a couple mixtapes. Maybe, like Kane said, maybe in 20 years, Kendrick will be in my number 1. Up in the top 5 like a Jay-Z or Nas has made it. You know what I'm saying? But until then, I think it's premature. As much as I like Kendrick and respect him and have done music with him and sang his praises, I think it's premature for anyone who knows better to be like, oh, automatically he's number 1. Yeah, he's gunning for number 1. He's gunning for the top spot. You know what I'm saying? You better watch your back. He's coming for it. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot more albums to be put out before someone could really say they the GOAT. I'm still looking at Melly Mel. I'm still looking at, you know what I'm saying? There's certain people I'm looking at and that have done it for years. There's a lot of rappers who people have said is the best. You know what I'm saying? People say Cannabis was the best ever. At a certain point, it was his moment. Right. Now it's Kendrick's moment. And he's taking advantage of his moment by ramming his moment down everybody's throat.
So Action Bronson went on Twitter yesterday.
Action Bronson had my favorite response. Because that's how Action Bronson...
Okay, so you know his Twitter response.
I don't know his whole... I think he had a lot of Twitter responses. Okay. But the one in particular that I saw that I retweeted.
Which was?
Which was, fuck getting out of bed to go into the studio, motherfucker, get my catalog of shit already got put out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my favorite response, because a lot of my fans say me like, you gonna say something? I'm like, I did. Check my last 3 albums. Check my 5 a.m. freestyle over Drake. Like, if we talk, that's why I asked if Kendrick was saying it's the hottest rapper or hottest lyricist, because we talking lyrics. There's a lot of cats out there from the 90s to now who got dope lyrics, who really spit that shit, who no one know about. You know what I'm saying? But that's why Kendrick wasn't talking about all that. He talking about who the hottest, who the ones people know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, now Action Bronson is somewhat affiliated with TDE. You know, I heard he was signed to TDE. I heard a couple of different things, but he fucks with Kendrick's camp pretty heavily. So you know, that has to be put out there. You know, when you look at his response, and he said, one thing he said was that when it comes to radio, right now Kendrick is the king of New York.
Okay.
Number one. And number two, which was the more interesting statement I feel, is if you're mad at a West Coast rapper claiming king of New York, you can only be mad at yourselves. You did this.
Well, you know, I've said a similar comment on Twitter. My Twitter, I got 5,000 new followers yesterday.
Okay.
Because what I wrote was, are you New York rappers ready to stop rapping like you're from down south? And a lot of people got mad. A lot of down south people got mad at what I wrote, and a lot of New Yorkers got mad at what I wrote. Now, for me to clarify, well, not really clarify, because I don't want to, I'm not backtracking, but for me to make it plain, first of all, people run with the term bust shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm busting shots to somebody, I don't miss. I have no qualms about saying somebody's name. You know what I'm saying? I'm too deep in this game and too respecting this game for me to not have the right and freedom to, if I have something specific to say about somebody, I'm gonna say it. So when I said New York rappers rapping like down south, people automatically was like, first of all, people in New York was automatically, he's busting shots at A$AP Rocky, he's busting shots at Fresh Montana. That's my peoples, you know, the A$AP Rocky and them, they come to the shows. A$AP Rocky and them, they have appropriated the down south, specifically a Houston style. You know what I'm saying? That's not my favorite shit by them. But I like Wild for the Night, I like Goldie, there's certain records and stuff that do, where it sound like some New York shit. Fresh Montana, he raps on a lot of down south type beats, but his style is like an old school Bronx style, like a G-Dep or a Black Rob. The way he get rhymes on the beat, it's like, that sound like G-Dep to me. I feel like that's why even Diddy fuck with him like that, because Diddy liked that style of rap. And you know, get money. Everybody, the down south music was cracking on the radio. So if you want a shot at the radio, you got, hey, get your money. But if the kings of New York, the people who are the hottest in New York are not making sure that they have a distinct sound to represent New York on their album, then they can't be mad when somebody try to take that spot. I'm not even saying you got to do it. I'm not even saying you have to have that sound. Just don't be mad when someone say to the king of New York if you ain't been repping it. And I also want to clarify for anybody who's thinking I'm dissing down south, that's some simple-minded shit. Because me as an underground New York MC, I can't think of anybody who's done more collaborations with down south artists than I've done. And you know, to me it's not even about, I'm not a music snob. I don't care whether you dope lyrically or not. You know I'm dope lyrically. I don't have no insecurities about it, so I'm not worried about the next man. I just want to make good music. When I said New York rappers are you ready to stop rapping like down south? I meant like, how are we gonna be emulating what's down south, popular down south, just to get on the radio and mad when a nigga come through and try to take the crown? You know what I'm saying? You can't have nothing to say if you ain't been repping it.
I tell my son, man, you can't afford me, man.
You gonna charge him for a verse, huh?
Yeah, I'm charging. He got money.
Dave Chappelle is a different type of animal, man. His comedic talent and timing is like no other, and I gotta honestly say, I can't disagree in any way, shape, or form.